happens to be when you're doing this workout. My name is Adrian, I'm your black hat at Soulful Fit, and this is my daughter Caitlin, and we're going to take you through your warm-up, your workout, your family time, and then your cool down. So the very first thing that you're going to do before you start any of the other parts of the warm-up, the real fun parts of the warm-up, is you're going to jog 2 to 3 minutes. You can jog outside, you can jog on a treadmill, if you have one at home, you can jog up and down the stairs, whatever works for you, your time frame, your schedule. So now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the warm-up after you've done your 2 to 3 minute jog, or run, or walk, whatever you choose to do during that time. So I'm going to have Caitlin line up at the pole. So we have kind of chosen poles as our marker points because we're on just a neighborhood block. So you can take it to one pole length, you can take it double pole length, depending on how much you want to do for your warm-up. That's up to you. She's going to be demoing, so she'll just take it to the little baby trees and back. So first she's got her half speed, her dominant foot forward, and she's going to be going half of her top speed. On the way back, she's going to do knee hug. You want to go ahead and show a knee hug just in case they can't see it from down there? Okay, so she'll grab one, she'll take a couple of steps, and then she'll grab the other. All right, so in a minute, I'm going to have Caitlin get going with her right leg dominant foot out, and she's going to go half speed, second baby tree. Ready, and go. Nice and easy. All right, she's going to come on back and do that knee hug. So when you're doing the knee hug, you want to make sure that you take a couple of steps in between each move, especially because you're running before. You need to have that time to stabilize, which is what she's doing. She's taking a couple of extra steps just to make sure that she can stabilize before she gets on the next leg. Alright, and now she has her 3/4 speed. She's going to be starting with her non-dominant foot, which for her is her left, and then she's going to end up going down. Before she does this, Caitlin, you want to show them inchworm real quick? So on the way back, she's going to be doing inchworm. She's going to bend down, she's going to walk her hands out forward, and then she's going to walk her feet in to get to her hands. There she goes. She's a little bit of a bend because she's pretty tight today. All right, so we're going to go with that 3/4 speed, non-dominant foot. Ready? And go. All right, and now she's got inchworm. So she's going to reach down, she's going to walk out with her hands. There you go. When you walk it back in, you can actually keep a little bit of a bend in your leg instead of having it completely straight. That's a little bit easier for range of motion. I'm going to have her just do 2 more and then let her walk the rest of the way in. Admittedly, we've had some technical difficulties, so this is our 3rd shoot, so she's a little tired and sore by now. Alright, Kat, you just walk it to the pole. Alright, now she's going to do her lunge with a twist. So with this one, she also took a couple of steps in between, just to make sure she was nice and stable before she went into her next lunge. Nice gentle twist each side. She's very mindful of it now, but we did correct it in the beginning, that her foot that is the lead leg stays nice and straight forward and it's not canted in or it's not canted out. Now you don't have to put your knee fully to the ground like that. You can if you'd like. If you do, just be careful you don't hit the ground hard. You can hover it just an inch or 2 above. And with that lead leg, you want to make sure that that heel is all the way down and that you're not putting that lead leg heel up. All right, so she's going to come on back. Now she's going to do her overhead side reach, not the back reach. Ready? All right, same thing, but she's coming to the side. So she's working right on the side body here, obliques, serratus, and anterior, and she's getting a nice little stretch all along here. gonna do one more to finish it out. And there we go. All right, so now she's gonna go to her full speed run, and she's gonna end up doing her dominant leg, which for her is her right foot. When she's on her way back, she's going to do the scoop. So Caitlin, you want to show them the scoop just in case they can't see it right away when you start. So foot comes up to flex, she pens down, and then she comes back up. All right, so now you got your full speed. You ready? And go. All right, and now you got your scoop. So if you can't go down quite that far, that's okay. She's pretty tight. She's been loosening up as we've had several takes today. So she's able to get a little on the lower side. But if you cannot get that low, that is okay. Biggest thing is having that front foot flexed and coming down to meet it and keeping the heel of the other leg down. She's going to have one more after this to finish it up. Alright, now she's going to do her leg swings. And I'm going to have her, she can actually use the pole that's right in front of her.
I can touch that?
Mm-hmm. That's what, you'll be alright. Yeah, you're okay.
How much is that?
Alright.
No, I'm going to use the fence.
Alright, she's chosen to use the fence, so I'm just going to show you that it's okay to use that pole, but it's a telephone pole, so shouldn't feel comfortable with that. Alright, whatever works. So you're going to do side, there you go. So she's going to do front and back with each leg 10 times. So I'll let you count on your own. So just keep a nice natural swing. You can tell even after a few takes, she's still pretty tight in her hips. Can you keep and count? And then switch, and then do the same thing. Okay, you gotta walk around so you can see the front of your legs. So you're gonna do leg swings, but you're gonna bring them across your body. So that's why she walked around to the other side. So that, go ahead whenever you're ready, so that you guys can actually see what she's doing. So she's bringing it across and back. So just a nice natural swing, and you should be able to get a little bit further by the end of this, by the end of that 10, than before you started. Counting. Okay.
I smell quesadillas. I'm not even kidding.
Alright, ready for your arm circles? Oh, there you go. Alright, she's going to come on over here with me, and she's going to do her arm circles before we move to your workout and the mat portion. So she's going to do 10 small forward. Go ahead. 1, 2, 5, 7, 9. And she's going to do 10 backward. Small again. Yep. And then 10 large forward, trying to really get that full range of motion. And 10 backward, same thing, trying to get that nice full range of motion. Alright, now she's going to do trunk circles. So remember, you have that hip width apart stance. She's going to put her hands on her hips, and what she's going to end up doing is she's going to come to the front, she's going to come to the back, she's going to come to the right, and then she's going to come left. Now earlier today we were getting a little mixed up with back, front, left, right. That's fine too, as long as you're doing the front back portion before you do the side to side portion. Alright, so Kat, go ahead and we're going to do 5. Side, side. Waking up the spine, we're waking up the hips, getting that all ready to work together. So if you haven't heard of it before, we have the lumbopelvic hip complex, which this actually helps to activate and to wake up. Feel okay with doing these circles here?
The ones
Okay, so she feels comfortable with going ahead and finishing up the warm-up here, because we're already here, right? So she's gonna get on all fours and she's gonna have 5 knee circles forward and back one side and 5 knee circles forward and back the other side. The biggest thing is you're keeping the 90 degree, which is just a fancy word for L-shaped, bend the whole time. You're not doing any weird donkey kicking out or anything like that. If you happen to go reverse first, that's okay. As long as you get 5 forward and back each leg, that's what we're looking for. All right, whenever you're ready. She's finishing up, and I know she's keeping count because we've learned our lesson about not keeping count. There is a standing version of this. If for some reason you can't get down on the floor or it bothers your knee, you can actually stand and do these. So we've done these in some of the classes before where we've done open the gates and we've done close the gates. Works the same musculature, but it's standing instead of being down seated. So now she's going to do her body weight squats. So she's got that hip width, shoulder width apart stance. Her hands are either in front of her or they're on her hips, depending on what's comfortable for her. And she's going to do a nice 10 body weight squats. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Her knees look good for now. She's finishing keeping count, but she does have one knee that likes to wiggle. It's a little bit less stable than the other. So if that's you, I would have you put that band right above your knee, so that's a nice kinetic reminder for your body to push out against that band instead of letting that knee pop in. So now we have all of our warm-up done. So we're going to move on over to the mat and we're going to do our actual workout portion. Kat's pretty lucky. She's not going to have to do many of these. I'm familiar with a lot of these. She's familiar with some. She'll pick it up at the end and she'll show you our family time. But for our rounds today, you're going to have your first round is going to be a solid minute and your second round is going to be 45 seconds. I know it's not the half that you usually get, but I want you to work a little bit harder today and definitely get that nice sweaty workout. Get those sweaty selfies. So the first thing we're going to start with is a pulsing lunge. So my feet are going to be about 2.5-ish, foot lengths out apart, whatever that comfortable distance is for you. And we're going to start with one side, we're going to switch and we're going to do the other side. You can weight this, but the movement itself is just body weight. We're keeping this nice and simple in case you don't have any equipment at home, okay? So hands on hips, and we're going to be just pulsing it right here. Now, if I need to modify this from here, because that is pretty deep to come down, you don't have to come down that far. If this is all you can get, that's okay. And then you're going to bring that back up. And then I'm going to have 30 seconds there. Then I'm going to switch, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Now, like when Caitlin was warming up, you want to be mindful in making sure that both your feet are nice and forward, and we don't have any movement inward or outward or of either of those feet. And you're going to do the same thing. The other side. Now, as far as weighting it goes, if you have some dumbbells or even a medicine ball and you want to weight that, you can put that medicine ball right in front. You can have that dumbbell right in front and you can weight that up and down. Okay? If you have really small dumbbells and you're not like 5 pounds isn't going to do anything for me, then just do 5 on each side so you can add to that and do that. Okay? So 30 and 30. So that's move number 1 for you. Move number 2 is going to be your offset push-up. So I do not have plates in my house. Gasp, I don't have a bar or plates or anything like that. So I'm going to use this really thick book that I have. You can use something laying around, a really thick book like this. If you have a low side to your curb or even a lower set stair, you can also use that. Just be careful. Even with the book, sometimes they slide around on carpeted surfaces. So with my book, instead of us going half and half because you have a minute, it's a good amount of time, you're just going to do 10, and then you're going to switch your book to the other side, and then you're going to do 10. So the exercise itself, I'm offset because this is a little bit higher, so my push-up is here. Okay, then I'm going to do 10, and I'm going to switch to the other side. Now if I want to modify this, I don't have to be all the way up here. I can be down here, coming down, and coming straight back up. Okay, it's offset because one side is higher than the other, meaning one side of that shoulder and back has to work a little bit harder than the other sides. So that is your second exercise of the day. Feel free to get creative when you're using things for that. your side to side sit up. Now with this one, we're not doing all one side, then waiting 30 seconds, then doing all the other side. You're gonna switch every time you come up. Now, the actual exercise itself, our feet are down. Someone can hold your feet, or you can actually put them right underneath the side of your couch, which will prevent them from coming up. No, she doesn't need to hold my feet. And then you just come up to one side, and then to the other. Now, if you have something in your back, and sit-ups tend to bother your spine, any part of your spine, you can actually keep this to a crunch. So, I'm down here, and this is my modified. Just coming halfway up, still getting that twist in there, okay? So that is your side-to-side sit-up. And you're gonna do that side-to-side, that whole minute long. And that is your third move. Your fourth move is gonna be the assisted pistol squat. Now I'm gonna move over to the fence, and I'm telling my husband that so he knows to kind of change the direction of where he is. So, with just assisted, and not with assisted modified, I'm just gonna be grabbing onto something to kind of help me stabilize. So whether it's a pole, or maybe the pole of a street sign, or the railing of a staircase, or whatever you have at home, just the assisted takes away that modification. So I'll show you both ways. So if I don't have the modification and I'm going full, I'm going to come down as far as I can, and then I'm going to come up. And I have this assisted here because if I need to pull a little bit with my arm, I definitely can to get back up. Now if I want to modify this, because that's a pretty difficult move. Pistol squat requires a lot of strength and range of motion. So I can actually put a chair or a box or something else behind me, just make sure it's something stable, and I can come to that chair or to that box and then come back up. Okay? Either one of those is fine. Now, if neither of those work for you at all, the very, very beginning move to a pistol squat is being able to squat nice and low. So I'll have you take your hands right straight out in front and go as low as you can, nice and easy, and all the way back up. With these pistol squats, because they do take time and they are difficult to do, I'm just gonna have you do 5 on one side, switch, do 5 on the other, switch back to 5, switch back to 5 for that minute, just so that you're not trying to rep it out in that minute, because that's not the purpose of these. So that is your assisted pistol squat. Now we're going to come back over to the mat for the IYT. And my mat's kind of muddy, so I might be muddy when I get up here too. You can do these with or without weight. The first way I'm going to show you is without weight, which is going to be on your stomach. And the second way I'm going to show you is going to be with weight, maybe some dumbbells, which is going to be on your back. So my first way is I'm down here. My arms come straight out. Notice my thumbs are up. My hand's not turned down like this, I'm turned like this. Every move that we have when we're on our stomach, our thumbs are up. All right, so I'm gonna come up for that Y, or I, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna reset, I'm gonna come up for that Y, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna reset, up for that T, I'm gonna come down. And I'm gonna keep doing that complex that whole minute. And as you guessed it, yep, it's shoulders, okay? Now, if you have dumbbells, you don't need a lot of weight for this. 5, 8 pounds max. 10 gets to be pretty hard for these. They are a lot of stress on the shoulder. So I'm just gonna lay down. Before I lay down, because it'll be harder to hear me obviously, you're still gonna keep those thumbs up. You're gonna be coming behind you. You're gonna reset, and then you're gonna come back up, and then you're gonna reset, and then you're gonna come up, okay? So down, I have my I, my Y, and my T. And that is my IYT, supine on my stomach if I'm not weighting that, on my back if I'm going to be using some dumbbells. Now your second to last move is going to be side plank with rotation. So we're up in our side plank. This one is going to be half on, flip, half the other side, okay? So I'm gonna reach down in, I'm gonna come up, my arm's gonna come straight up, okay? And this is what I'm doing for the whole time. If you're like, nope, need to modify that, you can bring the hand down, still need to modify that, we can bring that foot back and keep the hand up, okay? Right there, 30 seconds. Switch, and we do the same thing, rotation, or without rotation, hand up, hand down, or back here with our hand up. Your choice. Last but not least, your power skip. So you can do this indoors, most definitely. If you are in the basement, in the living room, you can do these right in place if you like. I like to have a target to power skip to and to come back from, because you're going to be doing it for a minute. Now the power skip, your aim is vertical, upwards, and not out. You're not going for distance, you're going for height. So channel your inner basketball pro and try to get some height on this one. It's going to be opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, and you'll see a lot where we're bending the arm when we come up. We want to try to bring everything up nice and explosive when we actually move. So when we actually move, opposite arm and leg explode up together. So the whole point of that motion is exploding up, getting that explosive power into that skip. So don't forget, round 1 is 1 minute, round 2 is 45 seconds. Now we're going to move on to our family time. I'm going to have my lovely cameraman zoom in on this board that I have over here for you, so that if you need to write it down or, take a mental note of it, here you go. So 10 flutter kicks, and 10 Russian twists, 10 penguins, scissor kicks, Superman rows, swimmers, Superman to banana, mountain climbers, inverted frog legs, and hopscotch jumps. So Caitlin is going to demo most of these, but not all of them. All right, flutter kicks. She knows what to do. Higher is more modified, lower is harder. So 10 means 10 each side, so she's technically going to do 20. So go ahead when you're ready. So 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! All right, now she's going to come up for her Russian twist. So come on up. You can do this body weight. You don't have to add a weight, but you definitely can if you want to. Now the movement itself, we would start with our legs up. And then if she doesn't have a weight and she's just going to take her hands, remember, side to side? Yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry.
I can't level up.
And then she's going to go side to side. Each side 10 times, which means you're doing 20. Now she wants to modify this. She's going to bring her legs down. If you're not using any weight, go ahead and get some nice rotation in there and try to tap that hand to the ground. You can use a dumbbell right in the center, going back and forth. You can use a medicine ball, same thing, going back and forth. Or you can use just your hands depending on the difficulty level that you're going for. Now we're going to go into penguins. So come on down. I know you remember those. Make sure your feet are wide apart, so the easier version. All right, so we have about a 45 degree in our legs. So penguins. So this is a little bit more modified and easier. Movement close. That's a little bit harder. Movement all the way. That's hardest because when she comes up and she starts reaching for her heels, she has further to go to reach her heels if she's closer together. All right, so I'm going to have you do 10. Keep count, okay? You can separate them a little bit if you need to.
No, you're right in my face.
Oh. So she's doing her 10 and she's keeping count. And if you need to modify, for some reason you do 2 sets of family time, you need to modify, you could definitely take feet out further apart. You get 10 each side? All right, 10 each side. All right, now we have scissor kicks. Remember those? All right, down for scissor kicks. So we're down again, but we're not coming up and down. We're going side to side. And it's 10 each side, which means this would be half, this would be 1, this would be half, this would be 2. All right, so I'm going to have you go ahead and do 10. Now you keep count while I talk. All right, so I always make her do palm up so that she can't press down with her palms and cheat, and then I always check her back to make sure she doesn't have any space in her low back. And she's done with that, and she's pretty glad that she's done with that too. You remember Superman rolls? All right, so go ahead, you can flip head down to that way, just be careful, it's kind of dirty. We got a good amount of mud on that. All right, so she's gonna do 10. Last time we did this, we did 5, all right? So arms are all the way forward, straight in front of you. Remember, we start with straight in front, there we go. And then we're gonna come up, and now we're gonna come back. All right, she's gonna do 10, I'll let you do them. So, you do them on your count. When you're doing these, make sure you get a nice little squeeze in the back of the shoulder blade. I'll put my hand right here. Just make sure, yep, I feel her squeezing. That means she's got her shoulder blades fully activated. If for some reason that rowing motion bothers you repetitively, you can bring it back in the row and then just hold. What you at?
10.
10! All right, so now swimmers. You ready?
Sure.
All right, so she's still on the stomach, and she's going to go opposite arm. She's going to be up and down, looking like she's swimming. Now with this, because it is one side, and then it's the other side, you're gonna have to do 20 because you gotta get each side 10 times. All right, go ahead. 10. Nice. There you go. 7, 8.
Oh, I got my legs mixed up. Okay.
You got 'em? All right. Do you know Superman Banana?
No.
All right. So she doesn't know Superman Banana, so I'll have her move, and I'll show you Superman Banana. She's pretty excited that she doesn't have to do Superman Banana. All right. A lot of you guys know this and love it, and 10 of them. Whew, that's a lot of work. So you are going to start out in that Superman position like she was before. We're down here. We got Superman. 3, 2, 1. We roll over, hopefully using some of our ab power, and we got 3, 2, 1 banana. All right, Superman bananas, 10 of them. Mountain climbers. So we're down here. One leg is up, one leg is back. Now remember, you're gonna do 20 because you got each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth until we get 10. All right. Inverted frog legs. She doesn't know this, so I'm gonna do this one for her. So leg to elbow, leg to elbow. And this is one of those half one, half two situations where we need to go ahead and do 20 because we have to get both sides. All right. Now, last but not least,